Hey everyone, welcome to this session. And today you'll learn exactly about how to reach to $1 million, right? Like wherever you are right now, whatever your current situation is, I'll show you exactly how you will be able to reach your desired situation. The goal is making $1 million, right? Like how we have to go about what to do, what not to do, everything I'll be sharing with you, right? The deliverables, how to reach to $1 million, learn how to close $10,000 to $50,000 deals. See, the only requisite what you should already have in today's session is like you should have some fundamentals in place, right? Like fundamentals means like you should already have like a product or a service. Only then it becomes easier for you to sell that. And you must have done some low ticket, right? Like some low ticket and mid ticket products and services. Like you must have sold already, and that is when it applies to you. And still, like you can learn it and like map wherever you want to be, and like you will be able to start executing it. Today, I'll be decoding one of the incredible guests whom I had interviewed like couple of days back, whose name is like Nick Kozmin. Nick Kozmin is one of the world's top rated consultants. Out of hundreds of interviews whom I have interviewed, he's one of the most incredible person, right? You guys know Sam Owens, right? Rajkumar, you know him, right? Sam Owens. He's the one of the most influential and like most amazing person when it comes down to online courses, masterminds, consulting. And he will be sharing his and Nick Kozman is one of the Sam's quantum mastermind top student. Okay. Now today I will show you and I'll help you decode it, right? Like exactly what you need to do in order to reach to that level of success. What are the things you need to do and everything. Okay. Without any further delay, let us get started. I'll share you my screen and also the uh, sound. Okay. Like you guys can tell me if you can hear me loud and clear. Okay, we will get started and I will decode everything step by step. Hey everyone, welcome to Real Knowledge Club. Today we have a truly a fascinating guest, one of the greatest people who I have met online, right? Who is none other like Nick Kozmin, founder of Growth Consultant and Sales Process.io, right? He has grown his business from zero to like more than $20 million in online sales. That is more than like 165 crores, right? He is an expert in sales and marketing. He is one of the top leading coaches in Canada, USA, around the world, right? Who caters and helps people to grow their business from dynamic video sales letters, funnels, and he helps people to charge high. See, if you see here, Nick Kozman grow his business from zero to $20 million. Don't you think or not? Right? If somebody has done $20 million and if you implement, you will be able to reach at least $1 million, 1:20. Do you agree or not? Right? If you do it properly, definitely you will be able to do it, right? Even if you are just like what, like 5% smart as him, right? 5% of like $20 million is going to be $1 million. Do you guys agree? Type in yes in the chat, right? Now, Nick, he is one of the greatest, what I can tell, sales and marketing expert, right? And that is what helped him to get there. Unlike VSL, video sales letter, right? Have you heard of the term VSL? Right? VSL is nothing but video
Yes,
sales letter, which can help you to which can help you to automatically sell your product or your service through videos, right? And that was his main specialty. High tickets, not just 5,000, 10,000, 40,000, $50,000 deals he closes and he shows exactly to his students. And he's also like the sales number one sales in his marketing company when he worked in the past, right? Like he was the number one closer over there. One of the top like companies from Y Combinator, people who get graduated from Harvard, Stanford, and other top companies and like universities, they come to him for help. He's one of the genius who is basically BSc in engineering from the Queen's University. He's one of the top pioneers in the industry. I found him from the Sam Owens Quantum Mastermind, all thanks to Sam, like last 3-4 years back, and from them, finally, we are getting today Nick. Nick over here with us, like Nick Kozmin. It's great to have you here, Nick. Like your honesty, integrity inspires us. Without any further delay, let's all welcome Nick on the Real Knowledge Club Summit.
Thanks for having me, Akshay.
It's my pleasure.
That's quite the introduction. I don't know. That was quite the introduction, yeah.
Thank you so much for taking your super valuable time and being here with us. Awesome. Yeah, Nick, I'm so curious to know about like your backstory, right? How you got started into this journey and how you went from zero to all the way like to like $20 million.
Sure. Okay. So I was studying at a school called Queen's University up in Canada, and I had to pay for my student loans, right? Because I took out loans to go to school. So I needed money. I needed a job, and one of the jobs that was available to me was door-to-door sales. So I started doing door-to-door sales between my third and fourth year at school, and it turns out I was really good at door-to-door sales. And I was able to bank some capital and pay off my loans. I was the top salesperson at this company called Canadian Property Stars.
See, now here is the thing, right? Like if you are able to see, he also went to like what is that school, then college. He had like student loan, right? How many of you are able to relate, right? Like Shrikar, like you will be able to relate, right? Having students, like studying, like so many people will be having loans, and then you want to repay that, whatever, like your engineering degree or something, right? And when he was after the college itself, what he did is he went on to do like door to door sales, right? Do you guys agree or not? Doing sales online versus offline, there is much difference. As like Steve Jobs tells, connecting the dots from backwards. You cannot connect the dots from forward. Whatever door to door sales tactics and techniques, what he learned, today he is able to apply in the online space, right? All those things has compounded. And that is why it is important for you to keep learning the skills.
And that was a really good training experience. And then the next summer, I started my own business, which is a door-to-door auto detailing business. So in the first situation, I was selling lawn services and driveway services. And then the next summer, I did auto detailing or mobile auto detailing. And that was good. That made some money. And then when I graduated, I wanted a good product to sell with high margins. So I looked to software like SaaS, SaaS, right? Because I could sell stuff, but I needed a good product, right? I wanted something that was high margin. So I started learning how to code and started building some SaaS products and stuff like that.
See, over here, he tells, right? Door-to-door sales and basically the the con of many industry is many businesses have like low margin, right? Do you guys agree or not? Right? Like low margin means less profits. Like even if you make like lot of money, there is very less take home you are able to do. Whereas like pros is like you have to find a business where there is high margin and high profits, right? At the end of the day, you are in business, and if you don't make profit, it does not make any sense. Do you agree with it? Right? You have to train your brain, you have to take care of your family, you have to travel the world, you have to give better experience to your customers, right? If you want to give better experience, charge them more. Just like which hotel gives better experience, one-star hotel or like five-star hotel? Let me know, guys, in the chat. Right? Where it is more good? Five-star, right? Absolutely. And the same way, obviously, they're charging more, they're giving more value, and you are feeling more happy. Similarly, that is how like you have to train your brain.
And I realized that this is a game that I don't really understand. So I started working with some top startups in Toronto. So I prospected to this guy named Derek Zito. He founded a company called Red Flag Deals, and he sold it when he was like 28 years old. So he was a really successful guy. And I messaged him and I said, Derek, do you need any help? And he's like, yep. He had a new startup at the time. So I just went to him and I said, I'm a door-to-door sales guy. I have an engineering physics degree. I could probably provide some value in some way. What do you want me to do? He gave me his app that he was developing. It was a shift-based recruiting app, like for video resumes. And I was like, great, let me go door to door in the mall and just sign up managers. So I didn't even ask for money or anything. I just went door to door and signed up people for his app. And in the first day, I got like 15 people or 30 people. And then the second day I did it again. Derek and the board were pretty impressed. They're like, great, do this more, do it at restaurants. So I did it at restaurants, hired a sales team to prospect to restaurants. And then we eventually bubbled up and got some enterprise deals, and that allowed them to find what's called product market fit, which is the point where there's the product.
See, the first most important fundamental is like nothing but product market fit. Just like how Rajkumar, like you were telling me, right? Hungry product for hungry market. How to find out, right? Hungry product for the hungry market is like first thing is you have to do the uh, sales calls, right? Like understand what is the pulse of the market. And now Nick also he was selling the apps, right? To the restaurants, like subscription, enterprise deals. Through that in-depth research, right? Whether speaking to like various people, signing up customers, right? Um, getting the feedback. This is what can help you to understand who you want to serve, right? And that's the most important thing. Product market fit. If you see any Y Combinator videos, have you guys saw any Y Combinator or like Harvard University videos, right? Like the top universities, these universities always talk about something called like product market fit, product market fit, product market fit, right? If you just go to like YouTube and just type, right, Y Combinator, they always talk about that. And that is why it is the key.
Works and it provides value, because before that point there wasn't much product market fit. So with that experience, I started getting referrals to other software companies. And then the next deal was a financial advisor marketing company. It was like a SaaS for financial advisors. And they had a couple case studies, and they needed help scaling up and getting traction. So I solved that. I learned the digital marketing. I learned the CRM stuff. I had to figure out how to sell this stuff at scale. That was successful. We scaled from 0 to $1 million in annual recurring revenue in 12 months, which was.
See, he told, right? He went from $0 to $1 million in 12 months, right? It's simple. When he can do it, even you can also do it. Do you guys agree or not? That too, there was no AI, right? There was no AI or like chat GPT during that time. Today you have everything, right? Today you have everything, much better infrastructure, and you can just implement it.
At the time, this was in 2016, this was pretty difficult to do. Nowadays, it's a little easier to do with because everyone's online. But in 2016, it was still kind of new to be selling like fully remote and doing this high velocity sales over the phone, right? For SaaS. So that was a success. And then I did it again for another software company in the fintech space. So it was very, very close. I was in a niche, a very specific niche. I was the only guy playing there. And so with that case study under my belt, the second one, I started a consulting business around that called Sales Process IO. And we specialized in helping SaaS founders go from 0 to $1 million annual recurring revenue in 12 months or less. And that was unique for the time. And
See, you also have to find what is unique for that specific time, right? Now, if you just see, now I will give you with my own example. What I am trying to do, you have to do something unique, right, at that specific time. Unique means there is something called like red ocean and blue ocean strategy. Have you guys read that book, Blue Ocean Strategy? Right? Where they tell in red ocean there is like a lot of competition, and blue ocean there is less competition. Now what I'm trying to do, I am trying to add on top of my offer, like um with the high ticket offer, how you can start your talk show. Do you agree or not? Talk show is something very less people have implemented it, right? Like less than 1% people in the world are like doing it, right? And that is my core unique USP. Like that, you have to find your core unique USP, what you can add on top of the offer so that it becomes like complete no-brainer, right? And there should be like huge demand for that at that specific time.
And that scaled, I scaled that up to 2,000 customers in a period of 2.5 or 3 years. And that was, I made my first $20 million with that model. And it created a lot of value. A lot of the Silicon, like from Canada, we don't have the same capital opportunities. We don't have the same technology opportunities. So I had to use what I had, which was like the sales stuff. And so luckily I didn't need the capital and technology to get that off the ground. It was just a way of like communicating. So that was successful. And
See, two highest paid skills, right? You know that, Shrikar, like yesterday you heard it. What is it? What are the highest paid skills?
Sales,
Yeah, I think sales and
Hmm.
communication.
Right. Communication skills. If you are able to communicate what you have, obviously you can sell also better, right? First is communicating and like doing the sales. If you have this both, that is what, even though he was not good at technology, he was not good at other things. Those were the two things he was really good.
yeah, and so now we're helping people with their consulting businesses. So any expert, like
How
someone
did
who's
you
really good
transition?
at
How did you transition from that sales process, like selling, like helping SaaS companies to like right now consultants?
Okay, so with a consulting offer, you have a window in time where you can monetize.
See, he also transitioned, right, into the consulting offer from what are the things a great consulting offer should have. He will tell.
The consulting offer because your information is fairly unique, right? So if
The first thing is you should have something like information should be fairly unique. That's the first key, right? Like something like unique you have to add.
like as you do more and more consulting jobs, it gets less unique, and we call it a half-life on the consulting offer. So
Half-life. See, half-life. Now, did you guys get what is half-life basically? Half-life is nothing but um, imagine uh, something, right? When it comes, it has some time period, and after some time period, that offer will die. Like example, um, um, somebody was teaching something unique like 3 years back, right? Like social media came, how to run ads, right? Like how to post a video that was like so old. Now it is like more new, right? Like TikTok 1 minute video. See, 1 minute videos were not existing 10 years back, right? Do you guys agree or not? Like reels, TikTok, all those things. It was all like long format. Then the attention span became lesser and lesser and lesser. And today it is like time period is like how much less time, right? And that is what that offer changed. Same like even Facebook. The Facebook name itself was different, right? Like 15 years back. Now they are changing it. Now recently they have changed it. Facebook comes under Meta, right? It keeps on evolving. That is the key.
as you go further and you do more customers and time passes, it gets less unique and less valuable because people learn what you're doing, right? So it's like S curves, right? So Yeah, that offer lasted about 3 years, and then competitors started coming in. Like you probably have seen that. There's been tons of competitors that just blatantly like you do the same thing, right? So when that happens, you kind of just the margins go down, and then you have to solve a different type of problem. So the next thing that we're doing is we're helping consultants, similar to what Sam did in 2015 or 16. We're helping consultants build really hyper profitable consulting businesses. However, there's a difference. In today's world, we're calling it post-COVID businesses, okay? Because pre-COVID, it was a totally different landscape. And post-COVID, there's new behaviors, there's new problems, there's new technology. So a post-COVID consulting business is a really good way.
Do you guys agree or not? After like COVID, the landscape changed, right? New way of thinking. First, people were hesitating to buy so much of online products and services, right? Now, after COVID, everything got shifted. Do you agree with it? Type in yes in the chat if you agree with it, right? New way of thinking, right? And hyper profitable business. More people are like shifting towards online to have the time freedom and travel freedom, right? These are all the things what they're trying to do. And that's what you need to focus on.
Way to make money right now. You can do it from your phone. You can do it from home. You can do it remote. You can do it in the woods like me, and it works.
Absolutely, I love that, right? Like transitioning, like you transition, like before, like sales process, like you did like for so many years SaaS, and now you understand the trends, right? Like people are like looking more forward to learn about consulting and all those things. That's amazing. And Nick, if I have to ask you, like which model is like right, like the agency business model, like doing the service, right? Because even Sam used to tell like after one given point of time, we cannot take like a lot of clients. After like 10 or 20 clients, like the delivery rate decreases. Versus like consulting, helping a lot of people. Now, how do you help basically people in growth consulting, because you also help them to scale their businesses? How exactly you do it?
Okay, so how to scale or how to put together a consulting offer. What you want to do is you want to start with a service. Like it's a one-to-one. Sam calls it.
See, you have to start with service business. Now, in your case, it's like service, right? Like Shrikar and Rajkumar and Tamara, even I believe yours also is like a service, right? If you all agree with it, type in yes in the chat.
Done for you in the flesh sort of consulting. This allows you to work with a single customer and really solve the problem. Like because in order to make a consulting business, you not only need to solve the problem, but you need to be the best at solving that problem, or you need to be the only one solving that problem. Because if it's not unique, you're not going to be able to build a consulting business on top of that, right? So when you're building your case study, we call it a case study client, you really focus on that solution for that case study client, and you have to make sure that it's amazing. So that's why you start in the done for you or service, or sometimes people start in a job and they solve they solve a really difficult problem that only them solved, right? And then they turn that into a consulting offer. And if the case study is really strong, which means you created a lot of value and it's really unique, then you can turn that into a consulting offer, and the marketing and sales is pretty straightforward at that point. And then you scale it using different methods with like protocols and.
See, first thing is you have to focus. Now imagine wherever you are right now, imagine you are at $0, right? Now first you have to do is focus on helping at least 5 people, right, get really good results, right? And then you can scale with consulting offer, right? Like consulting offer, and then online course, all those things, right? And that's the framework which he's telling. First, you have to become good. You have to make your hands dirty.
Videos and stuff like that. With a growth consulting offer, one of the problems that companies have is traction. So if you don't have any real experience like with robotics or something like technical or something like that, one thing that you can do is go into a company, like preferably a startup company or an early company, and you solve traction for that company. So the reason why this is a valuable thing to do is because the channels and the way in which people get attention and do marketing, it changes with time, right? So the way that I did marketing 5 years ago for that company is different than I would do it for a similar company today, because the platforms change, the features within the platforms change. So as a beginner, if you can go into a company and solve this distribution, which means you solve the platform and you solve that mechanism, like it could be shorts, it could be stories, it could be outbound prospecting, it could be advertising on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever. You solve that for a company, and then once you successfully solve it, you can sell the solution to other companies selling to a similar type of market segment. So there's the consulting business, and then there's specifically growth consulting, which is really solving the marketing and sales hack for a single company, and then selling that solution to other companies. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, that makes sense. I did.
See, now what Nick has to tell over here is selling that solution. Now, if you just see the solution, like if you have to grow to that next level, right? All you have to do is like you have to focus on like what you can do to make it like much more better and much more better, like solving the traction problem, like what the audience want, and like attention. Do you guys agree or not? Every business wants like the attention, right? Like you have to make sure that you are able to uh, get them more leads, right? Do you guys agree or not? Every business, right, wants like the leads problem, right? And if you are able to solve that problem, people will tend to pay you money, right? And focusing on that one mechanism and like one ideal customers is the key, right? Like you have to focus on one customer, one market, right? And one service. When you nail that one thing properly, then you can go and teach that to the different companies also, which are into the similar niche.
Identifying the problem and solving that problem, which is painful enough, which people the market is ready to pay, right? That makes
Yeah,
sense.
and with growth consulting, it's traction. So in Sam Ovens' thing, I noticed a pattern. The most successful consultants were the marketers. They were solving traction, because that's a really painful problem for most businesses, is the attention and the acquisition part. So yeah, so a good lane is to pick a company, solve traction, and then sell that solution to other businesses.
Nick, can you tell us some examples or like companies, means which type of companies are you talking about? Can you just name someone, like how exactly you and your students are helping them?
So the type of company really doesn't matter, and the market's always changing. There's new offers, there's new problems, there's new behaviors, right? So it depends. Like SaaS was big in 2018.
Yeah.
There's like micro SaaS that's big now. A lot of climate change stuff is big now. There's climate change tech. A lot of health stuff is big now. People are very aware of the health protocols and stuff like that. So there's always a path. Yeah, there's always new businesses. There's always emerging markets. It's just about finding them.
Yep, got it. And Nick, like you were telling, you help people in the growth consulting, right? How to go from $0 to $100,000 in like 90 days, right? How basically do they go about it? Because some people have the skill set of building funnels. They also know like video sales letters, right? They have the skill set of building funnels and video sales letters. Now, how they can go from where they are right now and where they want to be, like $100,000 a month.
Okay, so the $100,000 a month in 90 days is for people who already have a really
Listen to this very carefully, okay? How to get to like your $100,000 in next 90 days. This is the plan.
good case study. So they already created value for somebody, and that case study is really unique. Okay.
See, first step he's telling how you can go to like $100,000 in 90 days. First thing, what you need is like you need case study. Case study is like a testimonial, right? Somebody who have applied your technique and methodology and who has got the results.
So that's not that offer is not for a beginner. If you are a beginner and you know sales funnels and copywriting, that's a good foundation. I think everyone should know how to do that at this point, at least. Now it's not really enough to get results for a customer because the platforms are so complex and it's so competitive, right? Like there are millions of people trying to build funnels for people at this point, right? So it's not enough just to know the funnel and know copywriting. You have to really find a unique solution to acquisition. So a certain message or you're exploiting a certain feature within the platform before everybody else, right? Or a new platform completely, or a platform where no one is playing. So it's for somebody starting, it's important to find your first customer that's in an emerging market, and then really apply creativity and work to solve that distribution or the acquisition.
Absolutely. Now, suppose someone is just starting out, they have like $0 in the bank account and they just want to go about. Now, as you tell, like having the case studies and testimonials is very important. How they can go about.
See, whatever he told, like you should have like case study and like you have to be good in the copywriting, right? Um, Copywriting means you guys know, right? Like writing persuade you messages, persuade you emails and stuff, right? And also in the copy in the funnels, that's how like you can convert. And that's the thing. You need to be careful, and it's not enough just because you have like two skill sets. You should also have like a T-shaped personality. You have to understand various things. Uh, T-shaped personality you need to have, and continuously acquiring various knowledges.
In the market and get at least like 3 to 5 testimonials, 1 or 2 case studies in the next 30 days.
That's going to be difficult to do in the next 30 days. First of all, you want one really good one.
See, now first step. Now imagine like Shrikar or like Rajkumar, like you need a good testimonial, right? First thing, right? Like a good testimonial, good case study. That's the first step for you to reach to $1 million. That should be your first to focus, right? Your first focus is how can I get at least one good test? I actually asked how I can get 3 to 4, but that is tough. But you have to focus on one.
That's the whole point. You need, because it's so competitive these days, you need to stick out, right? So you need one really good case study and unit case. So for someone just starting, it's similar to what I did early on. When I was just starting with my consulting, I went to someone who I thought was a leader in the industry, and I offered to create value for free. And I worked hard and tried hard and created value. So that's the strategy. Yeah.
Absolutely, I got it. And Nick, as you said, like it's not just enough knowing about the funnels and like copywriting. There is like so many integrated details which somebody has to know. If somebody has to pay like a $40,000 or like $50,000 for building the funnel, and like they pay for the results, right? Now, if suppose somebody has an offer, they're really good in the funnels and the copywriting offer. They have got like clients who can pay them $2,000, $5,000. They have like 5 or 10 case studies and testimonials with them. Now, if they want to increase their price from, let's suppose, from $2,000 to $10,000, 5x the price, right? How should they go about? Because they don't feel like so much confident enough to do that, right? How can somebody charge confidently like 10,000, 40,000, $50,000 for the services?
So if you're going to charge a higher price, you need to first create value, and it also needs to be unique. So
See, now how do you charge higher price from where you are right now? Now, see, yesterday, Shrikal, like you were telling, you are charging around 10,000 or 15,000 rupees, right? Even the other person who was there on the call, he was
Yeah,
telling, right? Now, that's going to be like $200 per month, right? For the Facebook ads. From
yeah. Right.
from there, if you need to even like 5x, that's 5x is going to be $1,000, right? And then now I am going to tell you how somebody can basically go and like charge not just 1,000 or 2,000. If someone is already charging like $2,000, how they can literally 5x that and like charge $10,000. That's the plan. Now see what Nick has to tell.
or relatively unique. Not too many people should be able to do the same job. So if you're taking on a client and you're building a funnel for them, but there's a million people that can do it, well, the price is going to be low, right? So that's why you want to focus on the case study and making it really good and really unique. Because if it's really unique, then and you're the only one that can do it, then you can demand those high prices. Yeah.
Absolutely. We have to find something like a unique spot, right, which others cannot compete, or like some unique USP, right, which can add more value to the business.
That's right. So at the
Absolutely.
time when I was starting my consulting, my sales process IO, the unique thing that I did was I used paid advertising and an inside sales team. And at the time, that was actually
See what did Nick did? He's telling he used paid ads, right? And VSL and insider sales team, right? And that is what helped him to reach to $20 million.
Sorry to interrupt, Akshay.
Hmm.
Uh, can you give me like one or two examples if you have any on mind? Like what's like unique in the sense right now in the marketing industry, it's going like AI automation is going on. You see?
Hmm. 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 Yeah. See, unique means now anywhere where you can install artificial intelligence, right? Where you can make sure that the entire productivity can be increased and performance can be increased. Now, imagine, for example, what I'm trying to do. Like, if you just see even my offer, what I'm trying to do, it's like fundamentals. What I'm trying, what are the most important things I'm doing? The first thing is the fundamentals. Fundamentals don't change, whether it is old or new, it remains same constant. And second thing, what I'm doing is I am bringing 100 plus millionaires, right? Where I'm interviewing them, bringing to the community and they're answering. And then I have also built like community. And then also I'm decoding, like how I'm decoding the strategy of all the great people, right? Now, somebody is able to get not just one strategy. I am showing you 100 millionaires different strategy. See, what most people have to understand is what can work for Shrikar may not work for Rajkumar, and what can work for Rajkumar cannot work for Tamara, because everybody's personality is different, right? Uh, Different, and nature of work is different. Nature of work and nature of experience also is different. Do you guys agree or not? Right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
each person has their own strengths. Now, depending upon which person they are able to resonate and like relate the most, they can go and apply that strategy. But what others are doing, all others are talking about just that one strategy. Okay, everybody have to become swimmer, right? Only then you are going to win the gold medal, right? Now imagine a fish can easily swim, whereas a monkey cannot swim as fast as a fish can swim, right? You have to understand the personality, you have to understand the person in depth. Only then somebody can give like a unique way of thinking, right? Like something which can be, that is what even Nick has to tell, right? I hope you got it.
Actually really unique. There's no one doing it. So at least
Absolutely.
on the LinkedIn and Facebook channels, they weren't doing it too well. So there was an opportunity for me to exploit that. Yeah.
Now, now Rajkumar, like you have seen, right? How many people have brought Naveen Jain for an interview, right? How many have brought Nick Kozmin to India?
No one.
Right? No one. Now this is unique USP. Now imagine if I have to charge like high ticket pricing. Um, I have the skill set where 1 in 100,000 people have. Now, do you think, do you believe I will have an unfair advantage to charge more compared to 100,000 people battling the same thing, right?
Yes, yes.
And
I
that
agree
is,
with you,
yeah, and
Akshay.
yes, something you have to learn unique, like you can dig your own well, right? And that is what I'll tell you. If you have like unique, you can dig your own well instead of like competing in someone's well.
Absolutely, got it. And Nick, for all the people, some people have this question, okay? How can someone effectively scale the consulting business without much individually spending time with the clients? Because done for you offer, usually we cannot work with more than 10 clients at a time, right? It creates a chaos. Being helping them, how we can basically manage the time properly.
So in the beginning, when you're getting your case study, you don't work with multiple clients. That's the key. You just work with one client and you get a case study. So you shouldn't. There's a lot of agency stuff out there, and I get why they pushed it at the time, because there were few people that actually knew how to build funnels, right? So if you kind of knew what you were doing, then you could bring on like 10 clients and you could make like $20,000 or $30,000 a month just simply installing Facebook ads for a business or something like that, right? I didn't take that approach. I really I really hit it out of the park with a single client first. And then I started taking on more clients. So I would recommend not taking on more clients in the beginning and just working with one. Now, if you are searching for a good client, you can talk to them and work with them for a few days. I did do that early on. Like before I found Derek and worked with his company, I did a few days at this other startup. I did a few days at another one. I was kind of just bouncing around until I found one that I really thought had potential. So in that case, you can work with multiple people as you're finding the customer that you want to help. But once you find that person, you have to really focus and make sure that the case study is really strong.
Absolutely, that makes a lot of sense. I love that. And Nick, I'm so curious to also know this question because a lot of people ask this question. Like, if they're starting out the consulting business, right? Should they just focus on like done for you offers, first do it yourself, like first done for you, or like some people start focusing on teaching it also, right? They just barely get like one client and they also start teaching that stuff to others. When is the best time to start teaching others about whatever we are doing?
Yeah, you don't start teaching it until you really master it and it's really good. That's the thing. Some people jump to teaching they jump to teaching too early because they see other people doing teaching and they see that they might be successful with it. So what they don't understand is that the offer that they're teaching needs to be extremely unique and valuable, right? So if it only took them a couple of weeks to figure it out, well, that's not really that valuable. That's not really that defensible, right? So because someone else can go and figure that out in a couple of weeks. So in general, you want to really focus on developing that case study and those insights. If you are going to do a consulting offer, you actually need to be an expert at the thing, and it takes a long time to be an expert. Before I started doing teaching the with Sales Process IO, keep in mind, I actually I didn't teach. It was a lot of working with the client. It wasn't really teaching the client. It was working with the client. It was developing a system to help them through a specific process. I didn't like some people came to me for teaching, but that was much later on. Yeah. So it was.
Now, if you see, based on what before you start teaching, right? You should start teaching once you master it. Now, in my case, what I'm trying to do, the interview offer, right? Like the talk show and podcast, I have done it 100 times, actually more than 150 times, right? More than 150 times I have repeated the same process. Now I qualify to teach others. Do you guys agree or not? Once somebody has done 100 times, it becomes, it's not like luck. You can do for one time luck, right? Not but 100 times on a row. And once you are able to nail that, that's when like you qualify to teach to others like that.
It was years after, yeah.
Yeah, because I see a lot of people, they quickly jump into like teaching, right? They feel like so much fascinated teaching than doing the work.
Yeah. You got to do the work. You got to do the hard work. Yeah.
Absolutely, I love that. And Nick, what should be the best way if somebody is going out there like to do a good combination of helping a business owner, like building out the funnels, then running the YouTube ads, Facebook ads, doing this both combination can solve a major problem, or like we have to add more and more things to the offer if the business or a coach or consultant has to get the results.
Yeah, that's the second one is right. So it's not enough just to run ads and do funnels anymore, right? Like you have to be creative, and you have to find some like hack in the platform. Or you have to develop a hack in the platform. So yeah, to know funnels and just to know advertising is not enough to get results anymore, because it's so competitive. You could get results in the past because those features were so new. No one really knew how to use Google ads or YouTube ads because they were so complicated. Or no one really knew how to use Facebook ads because it was fairly new, and they were still developing the user base. So now everyone's there. Everyone knows you can make a ton of money with Facebook. So there's no advantage there, right? So you really need to find a new hack. Yeah.
Absolutely, that makes sense. And I saw like you all.
See, now that's what Shrikar, even you also have to remember. Just because you are knowing how to run advertisement, it's not enough. You have to learn something more, because so many others also know, right, how to run Facebook ads. How are you going to be unique, right? And if you just know how to run the Facebook ads, you'll only pay little less. But if you learn little more advanced things and know how to scale it to a different level, you will be able to earn more like that.
So, like most people, as I have seen on the internet, like that they were suggesting to go on with the one targeted niche, start there and be unique in there. Again, being unique in that niche is it necessary?
Yeah, see, that's what, as I told you, one customer, one market, one service, right? Like your market can be one target audience, one service. Like it can be like in Facebook ads only. You can do something like you can nail that one thing, right? Like for coaches only, or like for e-commerce only, like that very specific, like an
Mhm.
surgeon, brain surgeon. He does not do other operations. He only knows how to do brain surgery, but he's like really good. If he has performed more than 100 surgeries, he can charge even 1 crore also because the success rate is very high, right? There is two doctors. Now, I will just ask you a simple question, okay? There are two doctors. Now, one doctor is also brain surgery, brain surgeon, and another guy is also brain surgeon. Now one guy has like 10 years experience, or like one guy has 100 operations he has done, and another guy has done only one or like five operation. Whom will you choose?
Obviously, the first one.
Right, 100 operation, right? And that is the key. You have to nail it and you have to show the case study. The more case study they show, the more someone can also pay, right? Because they feel they are much better. And that is what exactly Nick is also telling.
Also, like you were teaching consulting at the same time, like sales, like you started helping people with the sales reps, right? You brought in like a unique flavor which nobody else was doing in the market, right? You added of your own slice to it, like making like the salt and pepper, something making it like more amazing, right? I love that. And Nick, if you were to hire someone, right, into your team or something, what are the skill set you basically look for? Like if you were to hire anyone into your team?
If I were to hire somebody at this point, they'd have to be really good. Like they have to have a some sort of track record, really good track record. Yeah. At this point, when I was starting, I would just look for someone who's really willing to work. You don't have the luxury of getting to pick and choose early on, right? So, yeah. Does that answer your question?
Absolutely.
See, and that is what I will tell you. Now, um, um, you were asking me, right, Shrikar, like when it comes down to hiring, what are the things you need to focus on? Um, while you are just starting out, really see what you need to do when starting out. When you want to hire someone, all you have to do is someone who can actually work. That's it. You don't have the luxury of picking I need so and so person really good record, right? Now when you are expert, like you have that luxury of picking which person like you want to work with, right? And that is the key. But in starting, somebody who can really work hard, those are the people you need to get.
Right, like you are looking for somebody who's already expert and who already knows what they're doing, right?
And someone who's complementary to my skill set. Yeah.
Right. And does a life partner play an important role in your business while you're working, right? Like the
That's a good
personal
question.
life, business.
Personal life. Yeah, there's a few thoughts around that. I think it depends on the person, right? I think having a partner is extremely important if you find the right person. Yeah. So there's guys that, because I did it when I'm not married. Like I got my first business off the ground, and I did it while I was not married, right? So it's a little bit different. Some guys do it when they're married. I know Sam did it. There's like Herbosi did it when he was married. He really took off when he was married. So I think it really depends on the type of person. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
But
because Alex Harmozy, his wife, Sam Owens, his wife, like they complement, right? And I believe the same with you also. With your partner, they complement, they help you in your growth emotionally, intellectually, all spiritually, in all facets of life.
yeah, it's really an important decision that you have to make. Yeah. But I think everyone's a little different. It's a hard question to answer because I think everyone's a little different. There's
Right.
people that are successful single. There's guys that are successful with their partner in the business. There's guys that are successful as the cheerleader, if you have a cheerleader, right? So I'm not really an expert at that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can only share what I did. Yeah.
Yeah, Nick. And Nick, I also wanted to ask you.
See, and having a life partner also is a key, right? And Rajkumar, how was your life after having a life partner? You are married, I think you can tell
Yes,
about
yes. Yes, yes. I have been married since long time in 2005,
Hmm.
during my college days itself. And it is very important. We have to figure out, or we have to sort out all these things in the
Hmm.
first place, because with individual own perspective we are doing good, but it is not necessarily that it is good for in the terms of wife's perspective. So we have to tell the truth, that this is the truth behind everything, And once he get realized, or once he find a good, then we can. Sometime I'm ask them that. Sometime I'm asking my wife to that do you really need money or like that, and she told me no, 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 you are enough. You with me, that is enough. And in reality, many everything is luxurious, everything is necessary, but we have to what can I say? We have to define and we have to distinguish between with our partner, and then we can move freely. Otherwise, it is always demand and the suggestions and the advices and the concern about a wife has been our very comes in a very hinder way to what we are doing. So an initial stage, I'm doing with my all seven, and I think I'm never told to her, and just I'm making no, this is necessary, and this is thing I want to do that and that in a very surface level. I assuming that it is not necessary because she don't know everything, and I am the super like that. But this is wrong. You have to
Right.
tell the truth. Otherwise, when you go deeper and deeper, everything's come on a surface level to the top, and when she knows and you hide, and everything going to mess up. So
Right.
being clear with in a first day, it is very good sign that you can go and you can move forward. And I did a mistake that I have told her very later, where I've gone very deaf, and everything is now coming up, and it will making very troubleshoot to me. So this is the big lessons I have learned.
That's good. That's good. I appreciate it. Right. Yeah, and that's what even if you guys see a few days back when I had posted even on like Facebook, my friend like Parthiv, you guys know Parthiv Shah, he's answering the question you are asking, right? Um, when you did get married, what will happen to you is crazy, unscheduled, unplanned, ambitious, undocumented are highly fluid travel plans. I think marriage will convert you from being a bird to being into a plane. That is what he's trying to tell. Because he saw me, right, when I was in USA. I had like complete unplanned, right? I don't know what I'm going to do next day. I went to USA thinking that I will visit only one event, but I went there, one event, another event, like four events I attended, and I don't know what I will do next day, right? I was going from one place to another place, taking the flights, everything. It's like completely unplanned. He will ask me, hey, after 1 week, what are you going to do? I'm like, I don't know what I will do, right? After 2 days, where are you going to stay? I told, I don't know, right? And that is what is the key, right? I truly believe like having a good partner is one of the key most important thing, and yep, that's the one of the things. Okay, and coming back.
Did you also set like the goals, right? Like the alchemy planner, which Sam was telling, like where you wrote down the goals, what you want to achieve, and how much money you want to make, or like the car, everything. Like you had put a vivid diagram. One day you will buy a Lamborghini, or like the Range Rover autobiography, all those things. Or like how did it happen? Did you visualize? Did you did affirmation? What was the mindset shifts which helped you to make it reality? Because less than 1% people make dreams into reality, right? Everybody dreams to make $1 million, but not everybody crosses that stage.
Yeah. I w- Obviously I have goals and I write down goals and stuff like that. I didn't do a lot of the mindset stuff when I was working with Sam, because I came from a pretty aggressive door-to-door sales background, right? And I knew that it was basically you have to put in the work, you have to be in the right environment, and you have to try really hard. So that was that I already had those skills, and like I had the discipline and that stuff already from school too, and from my experience and from sports and stuff like that. So the mindset stuff was less, I didn't focus too much on that in the beginning. Yeah. But I think everyone's a little bit different too. If you didn't have the training, then yeah, you're going to have to go through that training and develop those skills, like the discipline, the mindset. Actually, the discipline stuff was really good with Sam. He's probably the best at that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
The
the
monk-like discipline, we can tell.
Yeah, the monk-like discipline. Yeah.
Right. And Nick, a lot of people have this question.
Do you agree, monk-like discipline, Rajkumar? What Sam Owens has thought, having the right discipline is one of the key, right? And see, and that is what, if you were to reach your goal, like you should always write the goals every day, put in the work in the right environment, monk-like discipline, experience from sports. If you're already disciplined, it does not matter, or else it's one of the key most important things, right? Having the routine, all those things.
And like how they can go and achieve like 7 figures, like a 2 club award, right? What is the framework? Like if somebody has to go, as even you also teach to your students, going from $0 to $1 million in like less than 12 months, what is that step-by-step framework? What are the key most important pillars if somebody has to go there?
Okay, so the main thing is that you're creating value. Okay, so you have to create value at the unit case, and this is a lot of
See, very important framework to reach from $0 to $1 million. First thing is value creation, right? Unit case, understanding what exactly and where exactly you can add value.
business people, they skip this. I guess guys that are starting, they skip that part. And if you skip that part, it's not going to be successful ever. So you need to really create value for the client. And the way that you do that is you come up with some unique solution for helping the client. So you impact, if you're talking B2B, you impact their bottom line. So you help them make more money in some way. So the main thing is just having a really good case study. And that could take a couple of years to develop, or it could take a year to develop. And then once you have that value, it's about moving really fast. So, and as far as the marketing, so then you have to solve your own marketing and sell the solution. So to get to $1 million in 12 months, you need to have something good to sell. There's guys that made, like, I know a company that got to 40 million in 18 months from bootstrapped, right? So they had a really unique solution, and then they knew how to market, right? So I think it really comes down to the uniqueness of the solution, and then the team, how hard can they push? Yeah. So for a consultant, you have to have a really good case study, and then you need to market it effectively. Yeah.
Awesome. And Nick, you talk a lot about like product market fit.
Now, I will just put out all these things. What are the things you need to be like really good? You cannot skip this, okay? You cannot skip this at any cost. Like, first thing is you can also make sure that like you remember this thing, value creation, right? You have to really create really good value for your client. And second is really unique solution, right? You have to become really you have to give like really good impact the bottom line. Bottom line is like the revenue, right, for the company. And really good case study you must have. Without case study you cannot move. And moving really fast, right, like really good at solving the problem. These are the things what you need to have in your mind.
Fit, right? I see like your documents, it's like so much detail, and it is so much complicated, which normal person cannot understand. It's like so sophisticated with all the trigonometry, integration, all those things. How do we define that product market fit? Because a lot of people try to help someone, but they don't know exactly that laser targeted who that audience has to be. They try to go broad, like how Sam Owens is doing or like Russell Brunson is doing, but they are not able to get the results like you or like them, right? How should somebody go about understanding the product market fit?
Okay, so the product market fit, and yeah, some of that stuff. Like I have a background in like the engineering thing, so I think some of that language kind of flows through to the documents. It's not that complicated though. The concept's pretty simple. Essentially, the market's moving, right? The market's moving, which means the problems that people have, they change with time. So the hard part about finding product market fit is you have to see the problem, and then you have to build the solution and get the solution to market fast enough so that it's still a solution by the time it's built. Does that make sense? So you can spot a problem, but then if you take too long building the solution, then it fails, right? If you can't get it to market fast enough, it fails, right? Because you don't get the feedback in order to iterate the solution, and you can't do it profitably. So there's a lot of moving parts. That's why it's so hard. It's not just about coming up with a good idea. You have to execute the idea fast enough, and you have to do it fast before a competitor does it. And then you also have to make sure that it's still a solution by the time you build it. So it's that's what the document is saying. It's a lot of people, they come up with stuff in the wrong order, or they come up with businesses in the wrong order. So they start with a solution that there's no problem. Like it's not a solution to anything. They come up with a product, but it doesn't create any value. So they're either too early or they're too late. So the hard.
Now, see, as Shrikar, you were asking, what can we do right now to create our unique selling proposition, right? Now, see, product market fit, whom to laser, not able to get the results. Like you have to, first thing is like your idea, execute your idea fast, engineering, concept is simple, market is moving. The problem people have to change with time. Now, what is happening? Artificial intelligence has come, right? And it is going to rule the world, right? And everything from the content creation to the ad creation, like the video creation, everything it can also do. Now, humans have to understand what are the things this AI cannot compete with me, and try to do something of that, right? And that is what puts you different compared to others. Now, knowledge is not the power anymore. Do you guys agree or not? Too much of knowledge is there. 100 years back, knowledge was the problem. Today, you just go and click a button in Google, you will get lakhs of results, right? Do you agree with it, Rajkumar, Tamara, Shrikar?
Yeah, to add some point to your previous conversation, like I had one prospect saying that only for running Facebook ads, we have to pay that much. He was like asking that. Yeah, I got through it. The market is really moving on. I think it's very right now. It's very simple thing running a Facebook ad campaign.
Right, right. Now, see, now it's important for people to give like a human touch. Now, you just see the talk show or podcast, AI can come, but still people like to watch people, right? No one likes to sit and watch a robot speaking. Do you agree or not, right? Like all those things will happen. Now, just because robots came, people don't get married to a robot, right? They want humans, right? Even though robot can do everything, right? Like they want humans, right? Now, see, you just imagine that you live, just imagine that, right? Uh, you have like $1 billion in bank, right? And you have like the favorite car, whatever you want, and like you have your own world, right? Now, but you don't have people. Will you be happy?
Never.
There is no one in the world, only you are. It's like you are in the Mars with all the luxury, 100 different foods, 100 different cars, 100 different mansions. The metro is there. The in the airport there are all the flights also there with full fuel, right? We will get bored. Do you guys agree or not? Right? We are going to get bored, right? Hey, what man, what is this life? Everything is there. There is no sadness or like emotions, everything, right? And that is why doing something unique and what people want, no matter what people will consume, right? And that is what is the key, understanding that and doing something of that.
Part is like, it's like threading a needle, right? So in order to do that, you have to watch a market for a while and understand their problem. And then once you understand the problem, you got to move really, really quickly to come up with the solution. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. And Nick, there is so much of information in this world, right? Like a lot of people only talk like a surface level knowledge. Whereas like you and Sam Owens go like 2 layers, 3 layers in depth, and like you show that knowledge to the people, right? How can somebody understand? Because everybody tells something. Some person tells have a low ticket offer. Some people tell like high ticket offer. Or some people tell some other thing. How can somebody understand? Is it like the true real knowledge which can actually help them to get the results or not? Is there any way to filter out the crap and understand what is actually the essential, the 80-20, the 20% which can give the 80% results?
Yeah, you're gonna have to find someone that you really like listening to. Like and you have to make sure that it's right. It's kind of hard to do that. When I came across Sam Ovens' message, it was different than everybody else, right? It stuck out, and I was attracted to it, and I bought his thing right away, not really to learn what he was teaching or selling, but really to learn what he was doing. That's what I did. And so through that's how I learned that's how I learned a lot of what I know. It wasn't really from the content. It was more from just being around Sam for a long time and learning as he was going, right? So yeah, does that answer your question a little bit? Like there is a lot.
Absolutely.
And keep in mind, at some point, like that information could have been correct, but because the world is changing so fast, that some of the information gets outdated fairly quickly, right? Especially if it gets in the hands of lots of people, right? So that's another thing to consider. Yeah.
Right. And Nick, I have learned always.
See, and that is what it is. Like the world is changing so fast, but if you see traditional education system, they are still teaching you some old things, right? And one of the ways what you need to do is when there is so much of information and stuff, uh, like understand, filter out the crap and listen to mentors, right? Who has already achieved uh, what you want, right? Imagine if someone's goal is like they want to network with high level people, want to learn from them, that I've already cracked it. Imagine if you were to run like $1 billion company, right? Like you have to understand, learn from someone like Naveen Jain, right? Who is already having $1 billion company. And that is what the world is changing so fast. You have to adopt, or else like you'll fall back. That is the key. You have to be very, very fast.
Like so many coaches. In fact, like Russell Brunson talks in his .com secrets, expert secrets, like a tripwire offer, right? Like a $5 offer, giving them an ebook, then $37 offer, $97 order, bump, doing that, then $997, then 5,000. But whereas you don't have any $9 offer, $100 offer, 1,000. You directly have like 5 figures, like 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, like super high ticket offers. How are you able to do it, right?
Well, yeah, like I think what a lot of people misunderstand is that the structure of the funnel doesn't really matter that much. Like it matters a little bit, like for sales optimization, but if you have something that's really good, then it's going to sell, right? So I've always focused on just creating the value for the client and making sure that it's right. And then you can charge the market price for it, right? So having a low ticket offer and then a high ticket offer, or doing like the tripwire stuff, I can see in some cases that works. Like a book offer, for example, is a good low ticket offer, but really the mechanism behind the book is the sales letter, right? So a really, really good book and good sales letter will warrant a low ticket offer, right? So it depends on it depends on the company's situation and who they're selling to. Typically, when you're starting, you go high ticket. Like Russell Brunson, for example, he talks about lower ticket and higher ticket, but if you go back to what he did before he scaled ClickFunnels, he started very high ticket, $50,000 masterminds, and he had like 100 people in the mastermind. So that's his high ticket offer. Without that high ticket offer, he wouldn't have been able to fund all of the.
See, and this is a very important lesson. If you see a lot of coaches in India, they always talk you have to start small, right? You have to go like low ticket way, tripwire, right? Or do you agree with it, Rajkumar? Right? Like you have to
Mostly
start,
this is the channel. All people just following this like wire and mid level and high ticket like that.
right? Now he told like the example, right? Russell Brunson. Tamara, you must be following Russell Brunson, right? Do you follow Russell Brunson? uh, Even Russell Brunson tells that in starting, Russell Brunson used to do like high tickets you need to do, and that is what Russell Brunson was selling $50,000 mastermind, right? That's what Nick is telling. 100 people had joined, and then from there he made lot of money, and then he started to create smaller products, right? First you have to make huge chunk of money, and then you have to start doing like low ticket. It's like what people will do, they go from low ticket to high ticket, right? But it takes a lot of time. Now a simple question, okay, simple question to you. Now the question is very simple. I want you guys to answer, okay? um, now um, Now, simple question, okay? Tamara, Rajkumar, and Shrikar, like, tell me your product price. How much is your product price, right? How much are you wanting to sell your service for? Just the price.
I had two price in mind. That is 5,000 and 20,000.
Okay, 5,000. Let's keep it $100 and $300. Okay, to put it in dollars. How about you, Shrikar?
Yeah, it's very similar. Like it's very close, $200,
Okay,
150 to $200. But
okay.
in the sense of Indian clients, see, there is no. I have no chance to like. I did not outreach the foreign Western countries
Hmm, hmm,
to charge high tickets.
hmm,
What I felt is like there is a chance of long term. The closure takes a long time to get them into the closure thing.
Right. Tamara, how
So
about
that's
you?
why I think I went about for going with the low ticket.
Got
Is
it.
that fine?
Yeah, we'll get that answer in some time. Yeah. Tamara, what's your product price?
We're charging 250,000 per 12 months and then a renewal.
250,000.
Yeah, for each LLC because
Okay.
we're restructuring their ability to protect our asset.
Get it. Got it. Yeah. Now let's see how much time and like volume we need to sell. Okay. Now a simple question I'm going to ask, right? And you uh, how many sales like you need to do if your goal is to reach 100 like $1 million, and if your product is like $100, and if your product is $200, and your product is $500, and your product is $1,000, and your product is $50,000. Now let us do the math, right? So that like you will be able to understand like what is the economics which goes into the mission. Now which do you think, which way if you are able to go, it is much easier, right? um Obviously the more expensive it is, like much faster. Do you guys agree or not? Right. Now in Tamara's case, it was like $250,000, and all you need is what is that, like 4 clients, right, to attract them, or like get so many clients, right? Now It is all about choosing. See, it is not just about the pricing, right? Just for the sake of pricing, we should not. Now, imagine if you were to reach to like $100,000, right? Like $1 million, $1 million with $10,000 offer. How many do you need? Right? Can you guys tell me how many customers you need? You can do the calculation. $10,000 means you need 100 people. Do you agree or not? Right? If it is 20,000, you need 50 people. If it is 50,000, you need 20 people. Right? On a lower end, if you have an offer which is $5,000, you need how many? 200 people. Right? And this is the math. Now imagine if you're selling it for $100, how many people like you need, how much time it is going to take? $100. Can you do the math? $1 million divided by $100. How much is it? Who is going to answer? You need
10,000.
Now you guys tell me which one is easy. What is easy? Selling to 10,000 people or 100 people? What do you think is easy, Rajkumar, Shrikar, and Taman?
Yeah, going from top to bottom is a easier way and less chaotic way.
Right. Less chaos, right? Like
Hmm.
100 people is less chaos, right? More peace of mind, right? And all those things. And that is why I'll tell you, you have to choose higher pricing. And then if you want on a huge volume automated course, you can do it on a lesser price.
The other lower ticket stuff. So typically you start at the high end of the market with the most profitable segment that's smaller in volume, and then you develop your insights, you develop your capital, and then you trickle down into the lower end of the market. Yeah.
See, and that is what he's telling. First, focus on high ticket, right? And make good profits, and then triple down to like low ticket, right? Once you are able to uh, uh, get the attention of that market, right, and nailed it, then only go to low ticket. But if you see in the India, everybody talks about opposite, right? First do low ticket, then go to high ticket. Now the problem is it takes a lot of time, right? And that is what it is.
Absolutely, I got it. And Nick, you being like some of the best salesperson on the planet, what is the best lead generation strategy? Like, should somebody basically pitch after just like the VSL after they watch it, or like should we nurture them like for weeks or like months? What is the best method, right? Because some people feel like, hey, I just watched the video and like instantly like you are pitching me about your offer or service, or like should we nurture them by giving like small touch points and then pitch them about our offer and services?
So the answer is it depends on what are you selling, how unique is it, right? And there's a few variables. So for sales, right now, it's a lot of relatability to an audience and content, because everyone, if you think about it, everyone is online these days. And so in order to get attention, you really need to stand out. And for marketing, it's from right now, it's quality content, really unique content, and some platform exploit. So that's how to generate leads, and that takes time to develop. So, okay, so for somebody starting from scratch and they need to generate leads, what I do, I'll go through a process that I use. I start with as direct as I can. If you know the customer or the prospect, then you just go direct. I do outbound prospecting, like the door-to-door stuff. If that's not working very well, or there's no channel, then you want to start creating content and start attracting them. So for some offers, you can't go direct. So you have to do advertising and content. So it really depends on what you're selling. But in general, if I'm testing something new, I'll just go back to the basics and do outbound prospecting. Yeah.
That's amazing.
See, now I've asked like two questions. Based on that outcome, like you will be able to understand. First question, what did I ask? What is the best strategy, right? Nurture touch points depending upon what you are trying to sell. Now, see, what I'm trying to do, I am creating also like uh, a lot of the things like multiple touch points, right? Nurture your touch points. One of the ways is like content, right? Podcast. Do you agree or not, right? Podcasting is something which people tend to watch. There is nothing like hard sales happening. Do you agree or not? When someone is watching podcast, they're just giving value. Nobody is trying to sell someone, right? When you're in a webinar, on the end, you will have a pitch, right? And how unique it is, relatable to the audience. Everybody is online. How you are able to stand out, and the best way for you to stand out is having your talk show, an interview, and quality content, right? Starting from scratch. If you're starting from scratch, what you need to do? Direct as I can, right? See, nothing can build better trust compared to directly meeting each other. Do you agree or not? Right? When you meet face to face, you tend to trust them more, right? And Srikar, like you met me in the AI conclave event, right? Like few days back. Now you're on the call with me, right? Because you saw me that time and now you are here. Similarly, right? Tamara, you must have seen me. I was in US, and like Rajkumar, like we got connected through a group, right? Like previous mentor, right? Direct as I can. First, you can do is like directly see if you can reach out to any prospect. And the second approach is advertisement, right? See, the best way for you to understand and this thing is if your audience is like direct, you can do direct door to, not like door to door or like going and meeting in an event, right? That is the best. And second is doing it online, because before you do it online, you have to know whether offline it works, right? And it becomes better to get for feedback and all those things.
And Nick, one curious question what I have is like, imagine like some people have that skill sets, but what happens is they feel like if they're closing like a big ticket deal, uh, should they close the client in one call, like a strategy call of 45 minutes, or like should they do like two calls?
Yeah, absolutely. See, and that is what he's telling your opinion on cold outreach. Now, that's what he's trying to tell. Nick is a really good guy, starting direct door to door advertisement content, and you can also do like a cold strategy. If you know somebody needs your service, right? You need to understand your market and reach out to them, right? Reach out to them and tell them how you are going to help them, right? How you are going to solve the problem what they have, right? It's very clear. Do you guys agree or not? Someone has a problem, you have the cancer pill, somebody has cancer, you just go and tell them, here is the pill, take a pill, it's $1 million, your cancer is gone forever, right? Somebody, if you're solving a painful problem, they will come with the money.
Calls, like a 15-25 minutes discovery call and then strategy call. Which one do you think is going to work best for like business owners if you're trying to offer them any services?
It depends on the offer, right? So when you have, in general, it takes 5 to 7 hours to sell somebody something brand new. If you're like ice cold, it's just kind of a natural sort of law. So if you have a lot of content and you have a lot of videos and VSLs on the site or on YouTube, and the prospect has watched a lot of the content, then the calls are usually shorter. Okay. If there's not a lot of interaction, or you don't really understand the customer's problem too well, so you can't create the content, then you might have to do multiple calls to get the deal. Yeah. So the answer is it depends, but it usually takes 5 to 7 hours to close a deal from ice cold to close.
Absolutely, got it. And Nick, I'm so curious to know.
See, now, depending on this question, right? Now, if somebody has to close an audience, right? Like discovery call, 15 minutes or this thing. Now, if somebody has to literally take a complete ice cold audience, and it is going to take like a lot of time. Now, Tamara, you were telling me you have an offer of $250,000, right? $250,000. How much time does it take for you to close an customer? Can you tell me?
I usually earn their trust when I do a social experiments on their behalf for free for 30 days, and then they're happy with the results, and then we move forward.
Hmm. Like 30 days, like you are able to give them some value, right? And then they are going to come and buy your product or like your service.
Yeah, I show them something in social media that they've never thought about doing that can give them quick results so that they can have a quick win. And then I introduce them to my network so that they can see that there's longevity to the relationship that they invest in.
Right. Do they watch your content anywhere or like directly they come on a call with you? Like how do you close them?
Well, sometimes I'll call them from like my phone, um, or I'll do like a Zoom. It
Hmm.
just depends. I usually don't like to talk to people that are from a cold market. It's usually like a very warm referral that came from somebody that, heard of something that I've done, or people that I've worked with that they were impressed with my results with and want to ask me more about something. Yeah.
Understood.
I
Got
just
it.
I don't usually go for cold market. It's too much work trying to persuade them to figure out who I am and what I've done.
Right. If it is ice cold, it is like too much work, right? Convincing them. And like a referral or like somebody who has already come, it becomes easier, right? Absolutely. And that is what it is all about. Now, do you guys agree or not? If you have a podcast or like a talk show or something, it increases the efficiency of like warming up the prospect. Now imagine you have sent a YouTube link to watch, and they can watch another 5 or 10 YouTube videos, right? And now what happens? Like you are warming up the prospect, right? And you will have like better conversions. Do you agree with it, Tamara? Right? Having
Yeah, I
your
definitely agree. You have to develop. I let I let people know like I'm only looking for 1% trust because I've already been in this space for a very long time and everything changes. So if you're able to use content that you don't have to create and that you can leverage your own assets, you can repurpose it. You can take something and you can chop it up, and you know what I mean? Like different things like that so that they don't feel like they have to start from scratch, that they
right.
can leverage things that are trending. They can understand how keywords work, things like that.
Right. And for you to trust me also, what was the main thing? Like, how did you trust me when you came for the first time with a call with me? What actually attracted you to me? Because you are in USA, I'm in India, right? Why are you listening to an Indian?
Um, well, I'm actually in one of my trainings is for Six Sigma, Lean Six Sigma.
Hmm.
And I was looking for somebody that was learning from Onik, that
Hmm.
had already created a great relationship with him. And because I'm local, I can always be like, okay, well, um, why don't you come to an event that Onik is doing, and if it's something that you're interested in doing, that's what we do. We
Right.
just do it differently.
Right. Absolutely. Because you saw me interacting and like connected with high level entrepreneurs like Anik, and that is what helped you to get connected with me also, right?
Oh yeah, and my mentor in Asia, in Singapore, actually, um his approach is the same way that you're doing it as well, like through an interview process. I really believe that like a lot of the momentum on the internet is coming from challenges and from interviews from people that are making a lot of money. When you're
Right.
able to develop that one-on-one
Hmm.
interaction and then take that knowledge and expertise and then do like a one-to-many, you can create that conversion a lot faster. But it requires a case study. It requires somebody that you're building a relationship with, that trusts you, knows you, likes you, and will refer you
Right,
to
absolutely.
their network.
Right, yeah. And that's the key, right? Like building something what someone can trust and like referring is that's one of the most momentarious things, and we'll also get like more referral. And that is how like I have created the unique solution. And that's what even Nick tells, and that's what even you have to implement it.
About while you were making like $1 million per annum, right? How was like your schedule looks like, right? Like
I was
what
making,
time
I
you
was,
used to
I was
wake
doing
up?
$1 million a month.
Yep, million a month, right? Like how was your schedule? Do you work like 16 hours a day, sleep for 5 hours or 4 hours, or like how does it look like? At what time you wake up? Can you walk through us from like morning to evening, like night? How do you basically work?
Yeah, so it's not too crazy. I try to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. If I get less sleep, then I'm not fully productive. Um, and yeah, I spend the majority of the time working. I take breaks sometimes, like I take naps if I'm feeling tired. Like it's not too complicated. It's not too structured. Um, as far as like the sleeping stuff goes, it's try to get 8 hours. Um, yeah, but I work all day, right? So yeah.
Absolutely, love that. And how many members team do you have, like Nick? Like if somebody has to
See, and if you were to grow to like $1 million, and that's one of the key most important things, 7 to 8 hours sleep, good sleep. Do you agree or not? Sleep is the most important thing, right? And it is underestimated. Some people tell like you should not sleep, right? And like you have to sleep properly, wake up on time, like all those things, and that is what can help you a lot.
grow a business like you, how many team members? Should they need like 100 members team, 50 members team, or like 5 members team?
Oh, right now, in today's world with today's technology, you don't need a lot of team members to do well with a business. So you might need 2 or 3 team members, and maybe even one team member. Like there's guys that are doing really well with just one person on the team, and they're crushing $1 million a year, $5 million a year. So a lot fewer than you used to need is the answer. Yeah, you don't need too many.
Absolutely. I love that. Like we just have to have like right systems in place so that
See,
that's
now even in your case, right? How many team members like is required? Now with today's technology like AI can do major of the things, right? Like copywriting. Do you guys agree or not? Emails, right? Content. Tamara, are you using AI for like your content strategy, everything?
Well, I haven't been using like Chat GPT. I have been using AI for a very long time. Um I used I ask
Hmm. Hmm.
I ask AI. It was before Chat GPT came out. I would always just ask a question to I ask AI.
Right. Yes. Now, Tamara, like, your in your company, how many team members you have, right? Is it
We all act like, well, it's not like we're all a team together, but we're there for each other. So we each do our own like freelancing, and then when we come together as a team, we work to promote movies, music videos, projects together. So
right?
there's a lot of us.
Right. Now that's what it becomes more easier to scale the business to a different level, right? Now with the power of exponential technology, that's what Nick has to tell.
Yeah, definitely.
systems can scale up, right? Like funnels and like running ads, leveraging the platform like that. And Nick, like a lot of people get distracted, right? Like how to basically laser focus, like instead of being
Uh, Rajkumar, you have to listen to this carefully, how to not to get distracted.
Shiny object syndrome. They try one thing, after 2 months it does not work. They try another thing, another thing, another thing. How to get that clarity, right? Like 100% clarity about what we have to do. As like you have got and you have stuck to that one thing for years, right? And you are doing since years. How to get that clarity in life?
Well, one thing that really helps is being around people that are working on cool things, and you get energy from other people, and you can see them focusing, and then you can sort of focus. So that definitely helps. To get clarity on something, you have to spend a lot of time doing it, because it can appear very unclear when you're starting, right? There's a lot of moving parts to business, and they're not all public either. Like there's a lot of stuff that no business owner will ever share, because that will erode a competitive advantage, right? So you have to, if you're trying to figure out the cause effect relationships, a lot of times you have to run your own experiments, and you have to try a lot of things out, or you got to pay somebody who really is willing to tell you. That's really how to get that clarity. Yeah. So there's no real like free info to make millions of dollars, right? A lot of it is not, it's hidden, and a lot of it is it's hard to find. Yeah.
Absolutely, I like that. And Nick, we also what we do is like we help people to start the
See, now what he was telling, lot of things is like hidden, right? And like if you were to be focused, this is the point you need to have it in your mind, right? First thing, how to be laser focused and be around with the cool people, get the energy. They are focused, you are also focused. Do you agree? Right, Rajkumar? If you see other people focused, you will also be focused. If you see other people are not focused, you will also not be focused. And for clarity, right? See, you need to spend a lot of time on those things, right? There is no any rocket science. If you spend a lot of time, even you can go to space also, right? It's like how much time are you willing to spend? Competitive unfair advantage. See, there is no personalized. You have to try and experiment. And one more thing is, lot of coaches also hide, right, their secrets. Why will someone tell you their secrets, right? Like how now imagine you are going to a billionaire and asking his secrets. Of course they will tell, but they will not tell everything, right? All the trade secrets, how they have manufactured it, what they have to do it. You have to pay the price, right? Lot of things is hidden. Do you agree with it? Right, Tamara, what do you think? You have to pay the price.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the internet has changed so much, and I started learning all of this when I graduated from high school. So for anybody that I teach now, I let them know like it's so much easier now, so much easier.
Right, absolutely. We should have that clarity.
There is something like you see, yeah, as you said, there are some experts in the industry who will share a great share of knowledge,
Mhm.
but there are some people who are underlying, like they don't have the right stuff, but they sell however they want, right?
Yeah.
There's an issue with there.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, absolutely. That's what you need to find the right mentor who can show you everything, and that is what can help you. Like how we are brainstorming now, right? Whatever I have shared it, whatever Nick has shared, I'm sharing it with you all. It's like two-way communication. On an interview, it's like just one-way communication, right? You have to watch it. See, now, while you are watching the interview, you would have probably watched in like 1 hour, right? But now what I'm doing, I'm decoding. It's taking like 2 hours, right, to decode that 1 hour interview. Because what I'm doing Q&A, I am doing like personalized feedback, which cannot happen at the interview. Do you agree with it?
True, true. Yeah.
Right? And that will give like more clarity, right? Why that person is telling that, where we can apply, right? Do you agree with it, Rajkumar? What do you think?
And
watching just the interview versus watching this decode, what are the difference you are able to see?
this watching is only a one way, as you saw, as you told earlier. And here what we can see is if watching, we are comprehending with own ideology, but there is a different perspective is there that you are decoding, and we can get a meaning on the very, because you already interviewed them in person, and that could become more contextual and more easy to understand and apply at the same time.
Right, absolutely. Appreciate it. Tamara, what you see the difference with the interview versus like the way how I'm decoding?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Just watching the interview versus like you watching the decode of the interview, what difference have you seen?
I was pretty I could relate to a lot of what he was talking about because I've actually came from door-to-door sales. I hate door-to-door sales. So if anybody can do door-to-door sales, everything is easier.
Right. Yes, yes.
And you don't want to interrupt the person that's being interviewed. So I'm glad that you're able to, like, pause the video of you interviewing them and then talking about your insights and, having this group discussion. I think it's a good idea.
Right. Now everybody has some idea or other, right? You are telling something, Rajkumar is telling something, Shrikar is telling, I am telling you, right? We are able to connect the dots, right? You guys must have read the quote, Steve Jobs, there is a quote, right? You cannot connect the dots. Have you guys read the quote? I'll just share with you. You cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward. You have to trust the dots which somehow connect in the future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma. This approach, you never let you down. It brought all the difference in my life, right? And that is what exactly I'm doing with you all also right now. You guys agree with it, right? Somewhere or the other way, I'm trying to connect the dots and I'm making it like more relatable and easy to understand so that somewhere or the other way, we are going to implement that, right? And that is what is the unique
consulting business in India, right? Helping them grow the consulting business, helping them build authority, credibility, all those things. And like results wise, not everybody is getting incredible results, right? Like out of 100, maybe 10 or 20 people are getting the great results, right? How to make sure that people get the results and like they retain in the community for like longer time, right? How do we retain the customers for longer time? Because they easily get distracted.
It's about having good leadership. Like, are you running your program?
Yes, I am running the program. I'm teaching them how to start the consulting business, how to go about getting clients organically, how to interview like top level people like 7, 8, 9 figure entrepreneurs, through that how they can build the trust, credibility, have their own as a mindset coach, fitness coach, or like I have helped like many coaches, right, in India who are trying to help people in India also, even globally also, right?
Yeah. Okay. So how do you get them? How do you get them results? It's about having good leadership and making sure the strategy is right. So investing in your own experiments, investing in your own research is important, and also providing them with like energy too. That's a big thing with the coaching program. It's energy. Not everyone's going to be successful. There's going to be people that come in and come out. Like that's just the nature of how it works, right? So you can't get everyone, but to make a really good group or a really good offer, you have to make sure that what you're teaching is correct, and then you also need to inject that energy part to it. Yeah. And if you get those two things right, then it'll be it usually be pretty successful.
Absolutely. I love that. Like the energy is like everything, right? Like how we pass on like that leadership, creating more leaders, like how Sam has created more leaders, right? Like you, Dan Henry, all the greatest quantum members are like ruling over the entire space in the world, right? Like creating more and more opportunities and leadership. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Nick, as a
See, and that is what happens, right? Like a good, that's the question of how what I asked. How do how do you get the results and like customer for like long time, right? Like you have to be like a good leader, and you should actually show your skill set, making sure the strategy is right.
हो गया रेडी हो गया चलो क्या
You invest in yourself and in the events, right? And that's what I'm trying to do, right? And investing in the research, energy has to be injected, right? And pretty successful. You can't get everybody to succeed, but if you are consistent, uh, uh, we can make everyone win, right? And that is the key, right? You guys agree with it, right? That's what a coach or like consultant has to do for his students.
sales, right? Like if somebody has to hire somebody into the sales team, right? When is the best time, until when the person has to do like the sales call, and when is the best time to outsource it to the sales rep?
Yeah. Okay. So you want to do your for the consulting if you're a consulting business?
Absolutely. After the VSL video, should we only like currently I only used to do whenever I used to speak, I used to close more deals. Whenever my team used to talk, they're not able to close much, right? And that person is more dependent on me only, right? How I can basically give that task to my team? When is the best time to do it?
When your schedule gets packed with calendars and you can't sell anymore, that's when you start bringing on a salesperson to help you. Yeah. And then eventually you are filled with client work, right? So your schedule is just helping clients all day. So at that point, you really need a sales team, because if you don't have a sales team, then you can't bring in new customers. So yeah, it depends on your calendar. So in the beginning, you pack your calendar as much as you can, and you're selling deals. And then as you be bringing on more, you slowly transition over to a sales team.
Absolutely, I love that. And Nick, basically, while you are starting out, right?
See, that is what it is to the sales team. First, you have to make your hands dirty. Do you agree or not? Right? You have, there is no way like automating something or not, right? You have to, uh, you first, whatever you are doing, make your hands dirty, right? Do the do the sales calls, do the outreach, and sales call, understand whatever you want to do. And then second step is consulting VSL funnel, and that's what you have to do. And as soon as like you are able to make at least like couple $1,000 and stuff, right? And then like you should be able to um, have your sales team, right? Imagine you are making more than $10,000 plus, right? And your schedule is been packed, right? Whatever you are doing, right? When your schedule is packed, you are not able to do more sales. Then what you can do is you can actually outsource that to like some other person who can do the sales call, and they will be doing it for you, right? And in beginning you have to do the sales call, and afterwards like you can slowly transition, right? Do you agree or not?
Uh,
That's the key. Mm.
in the beginning, we become the face of the business, right, Akshay?
Yes.
So how to avoid that? Like how to skip? Like in future, we'll be, however, getting packed, right?
Yeah.
Most of the clients will be looking for. I need Akshay only to deal with this. I need only Akshay to have these things, right?
Right.
What?
See, yeah, see, it's understandable, right? Like imagine when I was doing the sales call before. Hi, Michael, welcome to the call. When I was doing the sales call, like people were demanding me only, right? But as you are able to scale, they also come to know and consider to a point. It will be difficult for like a seven-figure entrepreneur or like a eight-figure entrepreneur to jump on a call with you and try to convince them. You can have your brand, you can have your podcast, right? Where they can watch it. And through that, you are producing like a huge content, And then if you just tell you are the sales team of like so and so, that credibility, even the sales team will be able to have it. You got it?
I got it.
Right? Clients work what you're doing, and then like slowly like you're transitioning, and your team will tell team of Akshay or like team of your name, right? And through that way, like you'll be able to scale it to a different level. And that is what even Nick Kozmin was doing it. And then if you see the next step.
Basically, I'm like a computer science engineer. I always think to innovate, like doing more innovation kind of stuff.
Yeah, Michael, welcome. I believe like you joined now only for the call, right? How are you doing, Michael?
I'm
You
doing very
had,
good, Akshay. You're doing good.
yeah, good to see you after a long time, and hope you're doing good. And yeah, I was answering your question also, right? Need higher volume of clients. You had this question. Need higher volume of clients. See, if you want to need higher volume of clients, the only way how you will be able to get is like you need to increase the base, need more leads, right? For the more leads, you have to do more advertisement. More advertisement, either you can do paid ads or like do more podcast, right? Podcast is free, and like paid ads is going to cost you money, right? And content strategy, where you put a lot of content on the internet. Like you have your YouTube channel community like that.
I have a YouTube channel and I have a podcast as well,
Nice.
primarily with our writing community.
Hmm.
But I guess I could also go into digital advertising and digital content creation as well. I think my biggest issue is figuring out what is it exactly people want to hear about and
Hmm.
making content around that.
Hmm. Hmm. Now your audience is more about like authors, right?
Yeah, correct. It's mostly authors right now.
Yep. See, one of the best ways is like bringing more other successful authors and you asking them their stories, right? Like imagine who have sold like big books, right? Like millions, like Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup, or like something like that, right? Like you have to do something like that which can help you out, right? Yeah, I will be telling you more in detail. First, I'll be decoding everything, okay? And then I will come specific to you.
Thank you.
Michael, is it fine? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, this one.
Right, learning more and trying to create the program, seeing like 10 different people, adding each slice to that, right? Sales, I always keep it like postpone it to the end, and then interviewing like the people, creating more value, right? Because of that, the income, like the cash flow shrinks, right? Even though I know sales is important, but I try to do more like R&D, research and development, learning. How do we balance it like in a proper way so that our cash flows also is like consistently hitting like 5 figures, 6 figures per month?
So it goes to the case study again. If the case study is really strong, then you can charge a lot of money for your solution, and then when you go to sell it, you can capture a lot of the value that you created. But if the case study is not too strong and the price is low, then it's going to be hard to capture a lot of the value and get the cash flow up. So probably not the answer that everyone wants to hear, but the longer that you spend developing the case study and the more unique it is, the more money you're going to make in the future.
Absolutely, I love that. And Nick, I also have this question. Can they
See, now over here in this question, I was asking Nick, right? Like how to have the cash flow consistent. What he told, like focus on getting the results for the clients. Case study, have like really good case studies which can help you to portray about whatever you are doing. And once you are able to have those things, the longer time you spend and you capture the bigger market, the more money like you will be able to get. Portray those case studies as much as possible you can.
offers like a lot of things like relationship, spirituality, business, almost all the important things in a business when it is like into like more like a business coaching? Can they stack more things into the offer?
Yeah, I think the offers will change, right? I can't predict the offers that are going to work tomorrow. Like the things change. So
Absolutely.
as things change, they get more. There's new technology. There's new offers in the solution. Yeah, you're going to have to adapt. You're going to have to maybe add things or change things to make it unique and valuable. Yeah. So there could be room for an offer like that, but again, that you're going to have to test that.
Absolutely. And Nick, what is your top?
See, and that is what when it comes down to our offer, what offer I used to have like few years back is like completely different now, and offers keep changing. Do you guys agree or not? With the power of AI and like so many things happening, right? Like that time content creation was like very big thing. Today, posting content, it's one of the most easiest thing, right? How do you stand out as the market is like evolving? If you were to stand out, like the way apart from the old ways, right? Like old way of doing versus like you have to develop new ways of doing the things. What are the new way of doing? Like doing like the podcast, having your own community, right? Having your own, creating like your own blue oceans, right? And those are the things what you need to do than just doing the old ways of like posting only content, right? And those are like some things what you need to keep in mind.
Top three learnings from our mentors, right? Like Sam Owens, like you are part of Sam Owens mastermind since several years, right? And you have created so much of success. You have helped like guys like so many like Ravi Abuwala and so many Mitch and so many people, right? What is your top three learnings from Sam Owens?
Sam was really good because he gave permission, and as weird as that sounds, to work really hard on one thing and ignore everything else. Like that was as simple as that concept is. There's few people who actually do that, right? So that was really useful just to, because there's been times where I've done that for a short period of time, but seeing somebody do it for years and years, that was kind of unique. So that's what I learned from Sam. I also learned as the internet marketing journey is in the make money space or the online entrepreneurship space, it's actually one path. I don't think people understand this. So Sam was just 5 years ahead of me, right? So he knew the path, and sometimes he didn't articulate it, but he could answer questions, and his information was almost always right because he knew the path. So that was really useful. So I learned a lot from Sam because he was just further down the path than me. So I think that the big point is that there's really only one path for this type of thing. So what that path is typically you help a company or you help somebody, you create value, then you do more of that through some sort of leveraged up service business or consulting business. You develop an audience and some capital, and then you come up with a more scalable offer, like a product, like what Sam's doing right now with school, right? So that's the path.
Got it. And Nick, are you ready for like a rapid round?
See, and now if you just see the questions what I asked from Sam Owens,
Where I'll ask you like one
I believe Michael, like you must be knowing Sam, right? Sam Owens. Are you also part of Sam's program before?
I know of him, but I don't think I'm part of the program, no.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Not a problem. Yeah. See, over here, what Nick tells us, like Sam Owens has laser focused, right? He's doing it since so many years, and that is what helped him to get what he wants, like help him uh, make more than $80 million and more. And what you guys need to do in order for you to reach much faster is like to focus on that one path where you think like there is huge unfair advantage to you. Now, in Michael's case, it is like authoring, helping authors launch the book. Tamara, your case, like advertisement, Streaker, like advertisement, Facebook ads, right? Like figuring out that one path and nailing that one thing. That is what can help you by not getting distracted.
Questions and like, are you excited for it? Rapid round.
Rapid round? Okay, I don't know how fast I'll be, but go ahead.
Okay. What is that one thing you believe is to be true, which nobody else believes in it?
I'd have to think about that. And if I,
Yeah, you can think and
that's
tell
a
me.
valuable answer. You might have to, I don't know if I'll be just sharing that one. Okay, try again.
What? Okay. What? I'll just repeat again the question. What is that one thing you believe is to be true,
Oh, I
which
understand.
nobody else believes?
I understand the question. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. What are the top
If I-
3 or 5? Okay. What are the top 3 or 5 books you recommend everyone to read?
The top 3 or 5 books.
Yep.
Depends on the people.
If they want to grow the business, like growth consultant, right? They want to become a great growth consultant.
I like Russell Brunson's book. Any of the sales and marketing books, like those are the best ones. Like I started with sales, Jeffrey Gittimore, the little book on selling or whatever, the Sales Bible, the marketing books like Russell Brunson, Eugene Schwartz,
Absolutely.
the Barron Letters, stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. And Nick, what will be your 3 piece of advice for all the consultants?
See, and one more best way for you to become really good at sales is first go through the Russell Brunson's book. Have you guys read Russell Brunson's book? Tamara, Michael.
What's the name of that?
Okay, the name of that book is like if you see in the background also I have like there is like 3 books. One is like .com secrets and traffic secrets and expert secret, right? You can literally grab that on Amazon.
Yeah,
Right.
.com secrets is very good. I haven't
Nice.
read the other 2 yet.
Nice. You can check the other 2 things as well, right? And if you ask me what is the other book like which you can read, you can also read this book um, um, by Alex Hormozy, $100 million leads and offer. Did you
Would
guys
you
read this book?
would you recommend that I read offers before I read leads?
What?
Or it doesn't matter?
I didn't get you. Can you ask me again?
Would you recommend that I read $100 million offers
Yeah.
before $100 million leads, or I could start on either one and
Yeah, the
it
first
doesn't
one is
matter?
leads and like then 100 million like first one is offers, right? Like the volume 1, because he's going to link from that volume 1 to volume 2, just like how
Okay.
Russell Brunson is doing, right? Maybe first he came with .com secrets, then traffic secrets, like that. Like each book is being linked. For you to understand
okay.
the other part, you have to go first with the first part, right?
No problem.
That can help you all out.
Thank you.
Yeah, Krisha.
Especially in the real knowledge club community, if they want to really uplift themselves and reach their goals extremely fast in 2023, what are the 3 things you would pass it on to all the people since years of experience? 3 most important things.
So find someone to help. You just need one. Like that's I think I've been saying this the whole time. you need a really good case study. You need to create real value. So you need to be really productive for one person. And once you have that instance, then you can do more. I wouldn't get too mixed up with the content online. I don't think it's that productive watching everybody. Like if you're really trying to do it, you got to just do it. So
Absolutely.
that's probably a good piece of advice.
Right. And your key inspiration to your success, where do you get all the energy and drive to do what you're doing?
See, if you see the entire until now, whatever Nick has to tell, he has focused on these three main things, right? Do you agree, Shrikar and Tamara? Find something whom you can help, create case study, and market that case study. Do it, take action instead of more learning, start executing it, right?
Yeah, I agree. Like,
How
yes.
many times he has told, right? Finding out a problem, solving that problem, nailing that problem, getting the case study, and that is what it is all about.
I don't know. I feel like I don't have a choice. That's like my
That's amazing. And what is that legacy you want to live, right? Before like you go one day, like what is that like you want to be remembered for throughout like the next generations and the next generation? People have to remember you for.
I don't care, man. Like I'm just I'm just trying to like live the next day. Like
Yeah, I love that answer. Right? Absolutely, I love that. Nick, thank you so much for sharing like your truly incredible wisdom, all like the great learnings since like last 1 hour. It was truly a great honor to have you with us. For all the people who are watching this, like if somebody has any questions, they want to reach out to you, how they can reach out to you? What's your website name, Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn? What's the best channel?
Nick Kozmin on Instagram, NickKozmin, or Nick Kozmin on LinkedIn. Those platforms are good.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And Nick, before we conclude, any last words uh, before we wind up like today's Real Knowledge Club Summit? What is that you want to tell so that we consider we create more consultants, start impacting more people? What is that? Some words like you want to tell to me and others.
I think your idea of interviewing people like this is a good idea. So I think if people are following you, this is a unique thing that you're doing, and so this is good. So I think your followers are in good hands because this is a unique thing. So whenever I see someone using a unique thing, I think that they're doing the right thing. So good job.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Nick. Thank you so much for sharing like your valuable wisdom. Let's be connected. And all the viewers, all the people, do share it with your friend. Do tag what's your top 3 takeaways, and let's make a world a better place to live. Have a great day, guys. Everyone. Bye bye.
See, now if you just see in the last question also what I asked, right? If I want to impact more consultants, more impact, what I need to do, right? The idea of interviewing is a good idea, right? Like the whole, even in the starting he told, you have to do something unique. And if you're doing something unique, you are actually literally doing something good. And like when you're doing something good, audience and people are going to pay for your services, right? And this is what exactly, if I want to summarize like whatever he told, right? First thing, you have to do something unique. You have to start your interview talk show, and by building more case studies on more case studies, that is what can help us to get like more and more and better and good results, right? Now, based on all the things, whatever we have learned until now, right? How was like today's learning, and what are the questions you have? You can ask me, right? Shrikar, you can ask, then Tamara, and then Michael, like you can ask the questions what you have. Right? Who wants to go first? Ask questions, right? Today we discussed like a lot of things from uh, following up with the product market fit to the interviews, right? Hmm.
Yeah, I have a question. Like, yeah, hello.
Yeah, Shrikar. Yes.
Is someone asking the question?
No, you can ask and then they will ask. Yeah.
Like, see, chasing the high ticket clients, it might take time, right? Don't we lose the steam, the motivation in us when we at least try and don't close someone?
Hmm.
Uh, that's where I think I was stopped, like limited myself,
Hmm.
chasing the low tickets.
Hmm. See, now answering to your question, yeah, it is going to take time because somebody has to pay you more money, right? Like $1,000 or like $10,000. For that, first, what you need to do, as Nick also tells over here, like you have to have the case study with you strong, right? Now, see, today I
Mhm.
have case studies with 9-figure entrepreneurs, like billionaires are recommending me, right? It gives an unfair advantage. I can price whatever I want, right? And still people will come to me. And what you have to do is you have to become really good in having the case studies with you. Bring at least 1, 2, 3 incredible results, right? This is what you need to understand. Build something really good, really unique. Once you have at least 1 or 2 or 3 case studies, do whatever it takes. Maybe the first client, it can be free also. Work with him, get him results, get case study. Then you will be able to charge. Then you will also be confident that you have helped somebody to get the results, or else you may not be so much confident, right? I hope it answered your question. Yep. Next question, Michael, you have any questions?
Well, not really a question. More like insight from what you gave us, actually.
Yeah.
Just from what you said with get a case study, then broadcast it,
Yes.
promote it, let people know what they can get out of it. And people who have a similar problem will
Right.
reach out based on that and based on the success that person had. The good thing is I'm glad that you reiterated that because that is something that I wanted to do as well, but the execution wasn't there. As well as, you think as a creative, you need to do 10 different things to get people's attention when it might just be that one thing and you just kind of repurpose that in different forms, in different parts of content. So I guess in one case it'll be a podcast, in another case, like say TikTok or Instagram, it'll be sliding images where they were and where they are now because of your assistance. And of course, as Facebook and LinkedIn, it could just be a video or I guess a post
Right.
stating that as a case study. So
Right.
it's good
Even
to
if
hear
you
it like
see,
that.
yeah, absolutely. Even if you see Anik Singhal also, you are part of Anik's group also, right? The
Yes.
expert summit group. And you know that I'm working closely with Anik also, right? I was
Yes.
part of Anik's team. You must have seen I went to Anik's mastermind in USA, right?
Yeah. I saw the Dan
Hmm.
Henry, I think his name
Yeah, Dan
is. Yeah, I
Henry.
saw that. And
Yeah.
funny enough, I shared that with some of my team because I needed my team on the same page as me. And when they watched that video, they're
Yeah.
like, okay, they were so happy that I sent it. So I'm happy you did that interview with him.
Yeah, my pleasure. Glad you guys liked it. See, it is like even Anik Singhal also grow his influence because of like the two main reason. Anik is like really good in like two things. Do you know what is that? What
Presentation.
differentiates, yeah, presentation, communication, right? And he used that narrative, right? Very few marketers in the world use that, like the right narrative, the right words, the right persuasion, right? And that is what differentiates. And Tamara, you have also seen Anik, right? What have you seen in Anik which you have not seen in others? What do you think it is? Being from the same place, maybe you can unmute yourself.
I don't know.
Yeah. See, the main thing is the energy, right? Like the vibes, right? Are you able to tell even the complex things in a simple way, right? Are you able to build like really good communities, right? Anik is good in communication, presentation, narratives, community building, and all this is highly leveraged activity, right? High leverage activity means like you do one and you get 10 output, right? Like asymmetric leverage, what Sam Owens, like Jeff Bezos, everyone calls doing something where you can create a flywheel effect. Once you create, more people come and watch, more replies, more audience. um, that is when like the true transformation happens, right? And that is what you need to focus more on, like keeping your narrative right, communicating your message. And even Anik also did like lot of podcasts, he was bringing lot of people. uh, if you see even Diamond John, right, like the Shark Tank, do you guys know him, right? Like the billionaire from the Shark Tank. He had brought him Kevin Harrington, he had interviewed when Anik was starting out in his journey. These were all the great people who actually helped him. Even Bob Proctor. Michael, like you must be knowing Bob Proctor, right?
Yes, yeah. I followed Bob Proctor stuff while he was around with us. Yeah.
Yeah. And Anik was also a student of him, Bob Proctor, right? Do you know that?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, yeah, he was like before, like I think recently he died, right? Like Bob Proctor, a few
Yeah,
years
he
back.
died in 2022. Yeah.
Hmm,
It
hmm, hmm.
was last year, yeah.
Right, having that personality development, because Anik had learned so much, but that niche was like more competitive, right? Too many people were there, and Anik wanted to really focus on growing the business, right? Just mindset, it does not actually work. You also have to teach strategy, right? Uh, Telling about someone mindset, gratitude, that's good, but still, like if you want to build like really business, you have to talk about the business skill set, right? Like team building, strategy, and those other things, right? And this is how, guys, like we need to nail it, right? If I have to summarize everything what we have learned today, before we now wind off today's session, I'll just tell you, we learned about the framework to $1 million, how to close 10,000 to $50,000 deals, how to get feedback fast, how to be consistent, selling nature, the great insights, how you can create the next version of yourself. We understood VSLs is the way to go forward. We understood high margin, high profit. We will have better business model, right? How to talk to the hungry market, creating like your own blue ocean, and how to build hyper profitable business, what should be the narratives, and what should be your focus, and then becoming like a brain surgeon, like a specialist at your niche. That is what can help us out, right? And when is the best time to start teaching is first you have to nail it, like how I am doing right now. I have done like more than 150 plus podcast interviews with entrepreneurs who have done more than $50 billion in sales, right? In value. And now I am teaching people how to do the podcast interviews, right? And having a life partner is key. Planning your alchemy planner, the framework to $1 million, value creation, unique solution, really good case studies, moving really fast, understanding your product market fit, having your own talk show, and using AI, right, for your content creation, video creation, and then going from the tripwire, like Russell Branson's strategy, what the .com secrets tells, focus on what Russell Branson did in his initial days, having his high-end masterminds and then closing them, right? And that is what can help you out. And best lead generation strategy for 2024, nurturing with the touch points with the podcast, it's one of the best ways. And knowing how to scale, what is your unique proposition, having those things in place. And when you are doing strategy calls, discovery calls, showing people like more like warming up with the YouTube channel with the content, podcast can help you to skyrocket your conversions. And scaling to $1 million, having proper sleep of 7 to 8 hours is key, and team building, having a 2 to 3 team members who is like really good can also help you to scale much faster, right? And decoding the main unique USP which I have. And first you need to make your hands dirty, and that's how like you scale it up. Need a higher volume of clients if you want to scale it. Cash flow advertisement is the key. First to like offline understand the market, then implement online. And the new way of doing, right? Like what really works, and Samone's main strategy, books to read, and these are all like the main outputs of like today's session, right? Now, it is all about how we are going to implement and this thing, right? Now, this is how I truly believe we live in the exponential learning, because I'm decoding the interview, I'm sharing with your thoughts, and you are also able to get the feedback, right? And that is what it is all about. By you implementing these things, and that is how I will be able to take you to that next level, right? Do you guys agree or not? Like in this way, imagine if you're learning from 10 millionaires or like 20 millionaires. I will share with you the strategy for you to reach 100K or like $1 million. Now you just pick and choose which one is more favorable to you, right? Because everybody is different. Do you guys agree? Right? Everyone is different. We just have to pick and choose what we really want to go about, right? With that being said, thank you so much everyone for being here until now. I truly appreciate. Start taking action and implement it. That is what can help us to get really good results. And I truly appreciate everyone.